Thursday, December 31, 1929. The New York Times. France must pay tax on land here. Justice Riegelman overthrows plea that property was exempt like embassy. City's claim is $500,000. Holdings were purchased during the war for a munition storage plant and military base. An action by the French government to bar the city of New York from collecting taxes assessed against property bought for a munition storage plant and military base during the World War, situated on the Newtown Creek waterfront at Bell Street near the Barge Canal Terminal, Brooklyn, was dismissed yesterday by Supreme Court Justice Edward Riegelman. The amount of taxes assessed aggregated $383,384, which, with additional assessments for improvements and interest, would make the total claim by the city approximately $500,000. Except for the realty of the French embassy at Washington, this was the only other property owned in America by the French government. In the tax action, it was contended that the New York property should be held exempt on the same grounds as that of the embassy. The Newtown Creek property was taken over by the French government in 1917 in the name of the Newtown Creek Realty Corporation, for which France supplied $2,431,000. Other improvements since made placed the total investment of the French government at about $5 million. The realty forming the site of the military base comprised about 24 acres. It was bought from the Greenpoint Improvement Company. In 1924, the Newtown Creek Realty Corporation, the holding company for the French government, offered the property for sale. The highest bid received was $703,000 by the Charles Albert Corporation. It was reported that the French government had expected a loss in the investment, which would have to be charged to the war, but it declined to accept this amount. An action was then brought by the bidder to compel transfer of the property for the amount specified, alleging that the sale had been agreed to by the holding company. The French government's defense that it had reserved the right to approve or reject a bid through its American agent was sustained by the court, though the Charles Albert Corporation contended the contract of sale did not so specify. In the claim of the city to enforce collection of taxes, it was contended that the legal title to the property was not vested in a governmental agency, but in a domestic corporation, the Newtown Creek Realty Corporation, which could not claim exemption, and further, that the property had not been used by the French government since 1920. Justice Riegelman, in sustaining the city, held that exemption could not prevail in taxation, except in cases specifically provided for by law. Since there is no statute or provision or law authorizing the exemption claimed, I am of the opinion that the plaintiffs are not entitled to the relief demanded in the complaint, which is therefore dismissed, said the justice.